U.S. Congress January 6 panel shines mild on Trump pressuring Justice Department. Washington. Donald Trump pressured Pinnacle Justice Department officials nearly every day inside the run-up to the January 6, 2021, assault at the U.S. Capitol, urging officials to opposite his 2020 election defeat so that he ought to illegally maintain onto electricity. That changed into the testimony on Thursday by Jeffrey Rosen, a former appearing legal professional fashionable in the course of former President Trump's administration, to the U.S. House of Representatives Choose Committee on January 6. Rosen said in the days main up to January 6, when Congress met to formally certify Democrat Joe Biden as the next president, Trump repeatedly asserted the Department of Justice had no longer finished sufficient to investigate fake allegations that the election have been stolen via voter fraud. Between December 23, 2020, and January 3, 2021, the president both called or met with me without a doubt each day, with one or two exceptions which include Christmas Day, Rosen testified. Rosen also testified that Trump raised the opportunity of a unique counsel being appointed to investigate election fraud and that Rosen meet with Trump associates inclusive of Rudy Giuliani, who were pushing the false election fraud narrative. Former acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue testified that Trump had said to Justice Department officers, "What I'm just asking you to do is say it changed into corrupt and go away the rest to me and the Republican congressman." Former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, who served below Trump's Democratic predecessor, Barack Obama, tweeted, "This is the smoking gun." Coupled with different testimony demonstrates each Trump's significant involvement and corrupt reason, needful country of mind. The committee also positioned at the middle of Thursday's listening to the activities of Jeffrey Clark, a former Justice Department professional and fervent Trump ally. Clark's failed efforts to become appearing Attorney General, changing Rosen, have been distinctive, along with his push to have the Justice Department write letters urging numerous election battleground states to take steps to declare Trump the 2020 winner, in preference to Democrat Joe Biden, who won both the famous vote and Electoral College vote through huge margins. Donald Trump provided Mr. Clark the task of performing lawyer trendy, replacing Mr. Rosen, with the information that Mr. Clark might send this letter and take different moves the president asked, stated Republican Representative Liz Cheney, the committee vice chair. The idea turned into forcefully antagonistic via Justice Department officers, some of whom threatened to renounce if it went ahead. The hearing kicked off shortly after it became disclosed that federal regulation enforcement had raided Clark's domestic. Donald Trump did not simply want the Justice Department to research. He desired the Justice Department to legitimize his lies, committee chairperson Benny Thompson said because the listening to commenced. Pre-dawn raid Russ Vought, the former director of the U.S. Office of Management and Budget who recently hired Clark to work for his legal advocacy organization Center for Renewing America, confirmed the raid of Clark's home on Twitter NYSE, TWTR. He said more than a dozen federal cops searched Clark's house in a pre-dawn raid, positioned him inside the streets in his PJs, and took his electronic devices. The U.S. Attorney's Office confirmed there has been law enforcement pastime on Wednesday in the Lorton, Virginia, suburb of Washington close to in which Clark lives, but declined to elaborate. Also testifying on Thursday changed into former Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel Stephen Engel. Clark supplied a deposition to the Pick-Out Committee, and the committee confirmed excerpts of it in which he repeatedly invoked his legal right no longer to answer questions. On Twitter in advance this 12 months, Clark referred to as himself one of the pinnacle targets of the politically stimulated J6 committee. According to committee aides, Justice Department officials were requested to take steps to encourage a few states, such as Arizona and Georgia, to engineer Trump victories even though Biden become the winner in the ones contests. The Justice Department is investigating whether or not there was a plot to strengthen opportunity slates of faux electors in battleground states with the intention of overturning the election result. According to at least one subpoena seen by using that as targeted at the phony slate of electors in Georgia, investigators are searching for copies of files from October 2020 related to any effort, plan or try and serve as an elector in desire of Donald J. Trump and/or Vice President Mike R.